most recent trend, or the most, should we say, demand at the minute for skills is definitely more weighted in regards to development, more on the front end side of things. So the way the websites look and how they, how they work, etc., rather than what's kind of going on in the back end. And in Australia at the minute, there's a lot more demand for it, but not as much. Kind of candidate short is probably the best way to put it. These sort of kind of candidates which are coming through, they're quite rare. But when we're looking at development, we're looking at the kind of front end sort of stuff. Some of the new JavaScript frameworks are getting very popular now, just due to the ease of how the difference that they make to developers working on it. Like your Node.js, your AngularJS. These are these big JavaScript frameworks at the minute which are heavily in demand, so that makes our job tough. So there's a lot of demand for these guys, but like I said, not too many of them out there. So that's probably one of the biggest changes we've seen, along with a lot more in 2015, a lot more looking for developers who can work in the cloud space. So you've got Amazon Web Services and Azure, the two big ones at the minute. To keep an eye out for them. I went myself to the AWS convention last year in April, and the next kind of 18 to 24 months, that should explode a lot more now as well. And another trend as well in regards to development is definitely the big data space as well. You've got your the business intelligence data warehouse sort of area. You've got your big business intelligence tools. You can click your Tableau. And there's a lot more demand to use people who understand how to use these sort of tools as well. And another part as well, which not exactly in my area, but we've noticed as an organisation and through clients, there's a lot more demand for enterprise applications. So, we've managed to set up a team, luckily, with Salesforce, Dynamics, CRM. We've got those set up all across the country as well. So, we're looking at ourselves as a company, an organisation, to make sure we have the consultants in place who understand these technologies and can deliver to our clients and new clients for these niche skill sets. There's a lot more startups happening, we've noticed, in the last kind of 6 to 12 months. So with that, they want people in long term. So you're completely right. It works in the market has done for the last few years. It works in kind of swings and roundabouts. It can be contract heavy for a couple of months, and then towards the back end of last year, it was completely a lot more focused on getting people in full time and growing the business, which is understandable. However, there's still a demand. They need, at the end of the day, some of the better people, they will only do contract reason, for lucrative purposes, as you could probably say. And they're very, very skilled. They're very good at what they do, and sometimes you need to get these sort of people in to complete these sort of roles, especially in development. So recently it's been a bit more, client demand is looking for someone a bit more full time. However, at the end of the day, a lot of the highly skilled people are doing a bit more contract work. So it swings and roundabouts, I'd say. Next 5 years, well, that's the thing. It changes so often, it's hard to say. Right now, at the minute, as I mentioned before, the JavaScript frameworks are the most important ones. There's people who are currently using all the, Microsoft's still the biggest kind of technology stack, as in the .NET framework. I don't think that's going to change too quickly, but we're starting to see slowly a lot more companies opening up to ideas of working in completely different frameworks, completely different languages, because of the benefits these sort of technologies bring to them getting results and what they need to do. A couple of other, Golang is a new language which is starting to pop up, and a lot of developers are talking about that as well. I would also say as well, there's another good thing to get into, the way it works, and everyone's using mobile applications. So that would be another thing I would suggest if you've got an opportunity to get into that. Android, iOS, actually building applications, getting your applications on iTunes, etc. I'm really taking it for there. It's again relatively lucrative. There's loads of businesses, the big banks, big digital agencies. They need these people in here, and because they're in demand, they're paying very, very well. So my advice would be to kind of look at these sort of areas and to really try and knuckle down, find an opportunity to gain some experience in it, and then hopefully take off. Because look at it, you go on the train every day, walk down the street, everyone is on their mobiles, everyone is on the internet. It's got so much accessible now, so mobiles aren't going away anyway too soon. So that would be my advice, to have a look into that area.